All right, so we have Konner here again. We're going to be doing the Circus Dumbbell, and what we're going to do is take a bit of a deeper dive into the Circus Dumbbell, some of the form considerations, some exercises that'll help him get a bit better at it. And so by the end of this, he'll be able to not only do a rep, but be able to potentially handle more load and be in a much, much better position. So we're going to take a reference point to start out with and have him attempt a rep and take a look at some things. And by looking at his body, we'll be able to see where he needs to have the most amount of work put into. So whenever you're ready, go ahead. Purposely not coaching him on anything starting out there, but some of the things that you can notice with this is he's clearly strong enough to get the weight from his shoulder to overhead by using his legs, right? So it's not a question of him getting stronger, it's him being able to apply force in the correct way into the dumbbell to be successful. What we're going to want to do is arrange our body so that we can put the most amount of force directly into the dumbbell and then be able to balance it forward. You see, when he finishes the rep, he comes here and then is trying to grab the dumbbell because he can't really stabilize it overhead. That's just all coming down to positioning, not really a strength thing. So we're going to go through a couple different exercises and then work on his form and then come back to this and then watch him be able to do this successfully. All right, so what we're going to start out with are some windmills. We're using the Kyübell here. He's able to just get in a good rack position with the Kyübell. What we're going to do here is teach him how to stabilize something overhead under movement. This is also a lot of times the movement that people will go through if they are needing to create more space in a circus dumbbell. So when you're coming up like this, instead of moving back, you're going to move to the side and then be able to lock the rep out. So this is going to teach his body to be okay with movement with something stabilized overhead and then moving his shoulder however it needs to happen. So we're going to have him go through a few reps here. A couple considerations while he does this, which we talked about before. A little bit of bend in the knees, kicking the hips off a little bit to the side, and then reaching down to that other foot. So here you can see going through motion, and you can see his arm working right there to stabilize. So doing this is going to help significantly in his abilities. So one little caveat we can do to that, go ahead and put it down there, Konner, is with the Kyübell, we do have the fat grip. So what we can't get out of a kettlebell is the size of a circus dumbbell. So go ahead and grab the fat grip there so he can get an idea of the difference in how that's going to have to be stabilized with a thicker grip. It's one of the things that makes the, go ahead and go. This is one of the things that makes the circus dumbbell so hard is that you have to balance something that is very large in diameter. So it requires a little bit of grip strength and just a little bit of a different point in stability. So that's good. So now that we've done that, we're going to work on a few positional cues. So we worked on his position under movement. So now what we're going to do is solidify a starting point and try to marry those two things together for a successful rep. We're going to focus on his setup so that he can actually utilize his strength into that dumbbell. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk from the ground up and focus on getting that solid position. So starting with the feet, what we're going to do here is when you're in position, you don't want to be too wide, because if you have to widen your feet as you jump in the air, you don't have a lot of way to go. And if you do come all the way out here, you're not going to be very stable. You're not going to be able to walk if you need to. So we're going to take a slightly narrower stance, somewhere shoulder-ish width apart, and then you can kick your foot out here a little bit. This is going to help with your hip position. So go ahead and just kind of get in that position there. Wouldn't even need to be near the dumbbell. Kicked out, perfect. Now, what we're going to do is have a little bit of play in the knees. This is going to allow us to get into a better position. And then hips, what we're going to do is we're going to just kick them off to the side a little bit and a little bit back if you need to. What this is going to do is this is going to get the dumbbell over the middle of our body. If I'm standing here like this, or the dumbbell out here, it's out on the side of my body. But as soon as I kick my hips over, now it's over the middle of my body. I'll actually be able to put all of that force into the dumbbell. So go ahead, foot position, little bit in the knees, and then hit that hip position over there. Put your hand up by your head. So you can see here that hand is over the middle of his body now. So as long as he can keep this position as he dips, he is then putting all of that force directly upwards into the dumbbell. So hit that lower body position for me. Off of the side. And then he's gonna put his hand up here. And really with the upper body, the main thing you wanna focus on is maintaining integrity with this elbow. Making sure it's not gonna dip, not come forward, backward, making sure that that is solid right there. The easiest way to do that is to figure it out from the beginning. So you'll see here in a minute, when he cleans this, the first thing that he does is he takes his forearm and he moves it in line with the dumbbell, so that is locked in there. Then he'll get it off to the side. So that's not gonna roll back or forward. He has that locked in. And then from there, what he wants to focus on is a good controlled dip. He's not gonna come back even. He's gonna keep that hip pop to the side. Then as he explodes up, he is then not just gonna press the dumbbell, he's gonna push himself under the dumbbell and finish the rep. So now that we talked about all of that, we're gonna put it all together and we're gonna see kind of a before and after snapshot of Konner, his first attempt, and then just a few things that we did to do a successful rep. You got it. Nice. There you go. Whoa. So, it was forward on you again. So almost over, because here the thing is, like, if you go too far forward, that's okay. It's never really gonna roll back on you, but it will roll forward on you. So if you go in line or a little bit in front, like, that's okay. The other thing too, with the clean wrap there, other hand go like this instead of like that, because that, I think, is getting you like a little thrown off. So just go to here and then just pop. That's fine. But you got it. Here we go. Good. Nice. There you go. Good. There you go. Oh. Fuck you. Just stabilize it at the top. And honestly, what it really comes down to a lot of times, because of how violently you're going up, is like you're almost putting too much into it, putting too much strength. Because really, like, think about 90 pounds. You put 90 pounds on a barbell, like, you wouldn't even think about it to push press it, right? So with this, if you're having to contend with this, but also the fact that it's going too far and then pulling it back down and then getting it.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I would like to see your elbow slightly more in front of the dumbbell. Just like here, rotate a little bit under, and then you're good. But yeah, you got it. Everything else, you're maintaining everything else pretty well. Yep. Yeah. And then just like put your hand off to here. Because one of the things too is like, give yourself a chance to fight. Because you might be able to, and then get it instead of like grabbing it right away, you know?
Okay.
Because you're fine.
Run around.
You'll survive. Yeah. All right, here we go. There you go. Good. Fantastic positioning. Good. Jump and catch. There you go. Yeah. Nice. That's really good. Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. The best reps I've ever hit in dumbbell is just like, it feels effortless. You know, I'm not like forcing it or being aggressive. The times where I've been just like, put my belt down, I'm just like, fucking, like, it doesn't really go that well, you know? Now you know you can do it, calm, zen, just find that position. All you need to do is get position. You know you can get it. You got it. There you go. Stable. Jump and catch it. Snap. There you go. Nice. He didn't get any stronger than when he first tried. What he was able to do is correctly apply the correct force of the dumbbell to utilize his strength to be able to finish it. So even with just a few kind of things that we went over, he was able to be successful with it. So if he continued on this path, he'd just be able to add more and more weight and be able to utilize it. If you'll notice too, he was putting way more effort into the dumbbell in the first couple reps than the last one. It was pretty easy. Once he got it overhead, he's able to stabilize it, right? He got stuck here a couple times, but here he was able to easily just lock that out because he's applying the right force and has it in the correct position on his body.